Hey, welcome to Newcomb Garage. Today we're working on Vic's mower, the Pimp My Mower. Um, this is I took the top part off, this is where that thing goes. The pull start. Anyway, I want to paint this. We're going to paint it purple. So I've decided that purple is one of our colors. I want this to stand out and be different than the body or the deck, whatever. So just some nail polish remover because it's, this acetone. Wipe it down, make sure there's no grease or anything that's going to prevent sticking. Hopefully this also kind of etches the plastic a little to help with adhesion. I pulled the stickers off because those will, paint won't go over them and stick on them well, and they would look funny if it did. Also, I can put them back on, or I may or may not. I definitely want to put the one on that goes across the back that I think it has like warnings and basically tells you how to start the mower, whatever. At any rate, I will be sure Vic has those stickers because, like the one that goes here that tells you what the model number and all that is in case he ever needs parts for it. Really, this thing should give him many years of reliable lawn cutting. Mowers are pretty easy to take care of and keep in operational condition. Ooh, there's some residue from the sticker right there. I need to get rid of that because that'll mess up the paint. And they really require minimal maintenance. Change the oil every so often. They say once a year, but if you use a really good oil, it'll be fine. Just check it. Make sure it at least has oil in it and that it's not, crazy dirty, whatever. Really depends how often you have to mow your lawn, how big of a yard you're using, how many hours you're putting on the engine. If you're using a mower to earn money and you're doing multiple yards a day or something, you're going to be changing it maybe twice a year or something. I don't know. Tell me down below. And remember, like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that bell so you know when I upload things. Those like, comments, and subscribes, man, that's what makes a channel work. It's not like I want to do this full time. I enjoy it. And if I can get to the point where I start making AdSense dollars, then that's just more and better, cooler projects I can do. Okay, I guess I'm satisfied with the wipe down. Am I? Let's see. Try to scrub it till the cloth looks mostly clean anyway. I kind of wish I could scuff it up better, but I could. I just kind of don't feel like it. And not sure how I would do that with plastic other than sandpaper. Okay, I've got a little sandpaper here. See if... Okay, it'll scuff up pretty quick, so I'll just scuff it. Give it a little bit of something to bite into. And this is 500 grit. Probably supposed to use, 220, I think people usually say, but you know what? It's giving it something of a bite. It's dulling the surface. I say that's good enough.
This is the same paper that was I left out here. This is sitting over here on the ground. I don't want to fall too far down that slippery slope of doing things correctly, because then it takes too long, and then I get sick of it. Which is also why I use whatever the sandpaper is that I found, on the workbench. What was the first piece I could find? So let's kind of look over it. Make sure you have no or very few shiny spots left, and you'll be good. And I guess I need to wipe it down again. Make sure there's no seeming, residue, powdery stuff left. So a lot of times, even on projects I'm trying to do, well, because I know I get hyper-focused on something, and then I run out of time, so I try to set
All right, so while that's drying, I started working on taping this off. I've never done, like this kind of masking. So I started off camera just to play with it, try to figure it out. And I'll show you what I got. Okay, so here's the first line I put down. Well, I put the center line in first, and I was just working on how to put this tape down and make curves without it like folding and bunching and being weird. So then I came over here and I had to go around this because this is where the little door goes. And then I said, oh, look, I can make sort of a flame shape. So I'm gonna try and make this side into a flame shape. Probably a different flame shape than that one because I'm not gonna get it, mirror image, symmetrical. I just know I'm not. So it'll be asymmetrical on purpose. Now, I'm sure you're not supposed to just let it rip and then start over or start there. You should replace the whole thing. But, anyway, so far what I figured out, get that really lined up good, but hold it kind of like this. And then you want to pull some tension on it. And then you hold it down and you kind of make your curve and pull tension. So you're stretching the tape. This tape has a little bit of stretch in it. And then you can kind of make your curves. You got to push it down with my left hand, the thumb, and kind of tension and steer the direction you want your curves to go. But you got to hold it real close because if you have it way out here, at least in this case, that's not working with smaller, tighter curves. And of course, it'd be a lot easier without this in the way, but not doing a disassembly. And if I tear it, I'm just gonna overlap a teeny bit, make sure all the lines match up and look nice. And so here I have to roll my tape out, but I'm gonna keep my hand, move you over here. So I'm going to keep my hands close together because I need to make this curve come back up into here. I want the point of my flame to be the same on each. How am I need to redo most of this. Okay. And you're not supposed to tear it off with your thumbnail. You're supposed to use a razor blade. But that's over there on the table, and I don't feel like walking over there. And I just have a scalpel, not a flat blade, which I guess is supposed to be the better thing. Now, that's what some YouTube guy said. I forget who. Oh, he said for that kind of cut, at the ends, use the flat blade. Or maybe he said that's what he does, I guess. I don't want to misrepresent anyone, even if I'm not naming them. And you take your little extra pieces of tape you pull off and just stick them on your shirt. So when they go through the wash, they become permanently adhered to your wife's clothes. Because you see, all couples have to have a squabble over something. So if you purposefully make the squabble over something minor, you're good. Ooh, let's see if I can show you this. Right there. Let's see, zoom in. Right there. See, I stretched it and turned it too much and it tore, so I'm gonna have to cover that up. Oh. Or I'll just replace that piece. What if I come from this side? Oh, okay, that looks nice. I think I'm liking that. Now I need to go kind of along this way, and I'm trying to do, so like, kind of like wide, narrow, wide. And for the record, I am far from an artist. At least so far as like an actual execution. And I'm just gonna look over here, my other side, which some of the tape's lifting, but you know. And trying to match at least certain points. So like the tips of these flames, I want even on each side. Or at least even-ish. Now I think over there, some of the problem, I might have been putting too much tension on the tape, which is why some of it lifted. And of course, it's also kind of hard to do stuff when you have surfaces that are not, they have this big curve on it. That was less than easy, but this is all a learning experience for me and for you. I mean, I'm learning to do this, also trying to learn how to edit, but more than that, I guess what I found so far with the editing is I make my edit job easier by trying to not film a bunch of junk. So like stopping the camera okay. So like stopping the camera instead of being like, oh, I'll just, you know, cut this out later. If I want to retake something, I'll just stop the camera and redo it, you know, and then start it again. redo it. I don't script anything, but you know, I try to have like an idea of what I'm gonna say, or you know, sometimes you just say something. It's like, no, that didn't. I don't like the way I said that. I don't even have lines, and I still flubbed them. That would be me, big time. So back here, I'm just kind of having to go with the line that I can make. Maybe I can get it a little more. Yes, there we go. Now right here, okay, now right here, see how it's lifted? It's because I pulled too tight. So I need to lift this and relay it down. And it's doing the same thing here. Not liking the tension or the curve or the double curve. Okay. And since I just put this one here, like to mark the center, I'm gonna undo it. All right, so I did that so because I want to decide what kind of shape I want here. So far, I think it's looking kind of cool. All right, so I've been playing around with some stuff while that paint's been drying. You know, sprayed some purple. I've got this red. I want to liven up this purple a bit. So I coated this with the purple. Then I took this, weird cookie sheet, sprayed through it to try and get some kind of a pattern thing going on. Not real sure. Trying to decide because that purple needs something. So while it's still taped off, I'm going to try to play with a little bit of this red and do something to flame up the flames, if that makes any sense. And this is this weird can that has 5 tips: high output, standard, low output, vertical fan, and horizontal fan. So I'm gonna play with it. Let's see what happens. All right, so I'm gonna call this mostly painted. Ooh, I'm gonna put a little bit of red. Let's see. Right there at the tips of the flames. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna untape, at least unmask most of this. Right here, live on camera. Let's see what we get. Saran wrap makes great masking for big weird shapes like that. See if I can do this while holding a camera phone. See, this is why it's nice to use different, lay out your pattern with skinny tape and then use different tape to mask. So you can kind of take things in layers. And as you take it apart, you start to get an idea of what your final product is going to look like. And if it's going to be good enough. Oh, I think this is looking pretty sweet. So I guarantee no one is going to mistake this mower for anyone but, Vic and Foggy's mower. Not like some crackhead can be like, No, that was my mower. Now, the one thing I fucked up on, I didn't remove this one sticker that was there before I, started painting. And I think my phone's about to die, so if this ends all of a sudden, it's because I just got carried away. I'm a little too far from the outlet to string a charger right now. Oh, check it out. I don't know about you, but I'm thinking this looks pretty sweet. I mean, if a mower can be pimped, I mean, that's kind of pimped. So here we are. This is the end of part 2. Kind of part 3, but we'll call it part 2 of Pimp My Mower. Unfortunately, I called up Exhibit. He said he's all out of screens. I don't know. He's like, that's too early 2000s or 1990s or whatever. But I'm thinking this thing's so far looking pretty pimp. We got the gold wheels. We got, the custom ass paint, some flames for more horsepower, because you got to cut through that grass. The custom hood, custom steering wheel. I got more to do on this. I got ideas percolating up here that I need to engineer, and I got a lot of thinking and figuring to do to get this where my mind sees it. But so far, I'm happy with what I've accomplished at this point. I got to see where this mower wants to go, because really, it's not me at this point, it's the mower. The mower's telling me what to do. I'm just kind of like, what about this? Like, no, I'll do this. So, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. What else am I supposed to say here as a, YouTuber? Follow me for more recipes. Is that it? No. I'm not cooking on this episode. Whatever. I just had another dumb idea. Oh my god. Alright. Catch you next time, and remember, it's always okay to work hard to be lazy. And see you next time.